Good morning, everybody. This is Avion Murphy. It is the 12th of February. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the channel where we talk about fibromyalgia and everything related to fibromyalgia. I have been compelled to talk today about inspiration and self-worth. I hope you enjoy watching the birds on the feeder. You can see the activity is totally ramped up today. We're having a massive snowstorm that has just begun, and it's supposed to be followed by ice, and they're suggesting that there might be trees down and power outages, so I wanted to do this video before I lose power, in case we lose power, which is a whole topic in itself, because depending on your life and if you live with someone or what your circumstances are, if you live, I live here in the Northeast in the United States, and we've had a fairly okay winter, but the threat of losing electricity is more impacting than maybe for just the average person, because when you have fibromyalgia, as you know, or maybe you don't know, maybe you're just tuning in because you're curious, everything is difficult. So collecting wood and dragging the wood in and cleaning the fireplace. I'm fortunate enough to have a fireplace that works, but just even that, like the prep work, is a great expenditure of energy. So while I am fortunate on one hand to have a fireplace just in case we lose power, I'm aware of what other people go through. Like if we should lose our power, and you don't have a fireplace and you don't have a generator or you don't have anybody to help you, you freeze, right? You're cold. Some people may find it easier to rely on other people to help them, and are blessed to have other people to help them. But I try to be fairly independent. I do have good neighbors, but at the end of the day, you know, if I lose power, I've got my fireplace ready to go. So I don't know, I went on that rant. I don't know why I went on that rant, but I just wanted to talk to you today about inspiration. So this video today follows several days of what a lot of people like to call a dark night of the soul. I've had an incredible deluge of negativity and depression and just horrible thoughts and feelings. I've really been struggling. I started off doing these videos because I wanted to inspire and I wanted to give everybody hope, and then peppered in between the cheerleading and the yay rah 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 about how we're going to beat fibromyalgia and you can live a good quality of life with fibromyalgia. I do have videos where I get very real with you, so I don't know who needs to hear this, but I just wanted to share it today. So in past videos, I've talked about how attitude is everything, how your thoughts actually change. I don't know, maybe I didn't talk about this, but it has been proven that our words and our thoughts can change us on a cellular level. And if you read my book, Viral, A True Story of Epidemic Flu, Fear, and Faith, which I will include when I upload this video to my YouTube channel called Fibromyalgians, I'll include the link to the book there. But if you read the book, you'll understand how I came to know about the power of our own thoughts and how it changes us and our perspective on life and our attitude about things, how it literally changes our cells. And as you know, with fibromyalgia, which is a neurological disease, we have issues on a neurological level. So anything that we can do to improve ourselves, even if it's cellular, why not? right? So we have a choice every day. We get up in the morning, we can choose to grumble and be sad and bemoan and just really hate life. And I'm saying that from experience. So really in the past several days, I've really been about as down as I've ever been with fibromyalgia. Just last week, I came to the realization that I was in denial about having fibromyalgia, and I started off doing these videos because I wanted to prove that you can have a good quality of life, and that it was almost as if because I decided to do that, then, you know, the universe kind of threw this at me and said, okay, try this and see how you feel. So I have been really, really struggling, and I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to put ideas in your head, but I don't recommend making the choice to go down into that pit of despair that I have been in. But if at all possible, I would recommend that you don't entertain thoughts and negativity. Just don't allow it. Just don't even go there. Just when the first thought hits, you just really got to push back on it and reject it. And while we can acknowledge our symptoms and acknowledge our struggles, recognize them, we really must honor ourselves in the process. And I'm saying this from experience. Once again, I'm saying this from experience. Okay, so when I was preparing to do this video today, I was looking around for something that I could read to you, just because it's really, I want you to just enjoy the snow, and I don't know where all the birds and the squirrels went. Something must be flying around. I don't know how they got scared, but they all just spooked. So hopefully they'll come back. The snow is getting pretty tough, though. It's getting pretty intense, but they'll come back. So while you watch the snow and look at the pretty scenery and listen, you know, watch the birds and listen to my talking, I thought, well, maybe I'll just read something inspiring to you today. So I went around to my house and I started looking for things that, you know, I read to inspire me that I could read to you. and I'm talking to myself going, okay, Avian, where are those inspirational books? And I had to pause, you know, because there's not one thing that I can read to you today. I don't want to read scripture to you because I don't want to make this about, you know, one particular religion. I happen to be a Christian, but, you know, many of us in the world have our different faiths, and so I didn't want to make this like a denominational thing. I wanted to make this just overall, just generic inspiration. And so I was going to read, there's a poem called Desiderata, and I was going to read that to you, but I will do that at another time. But I wanted to just say, in lieu of reading anything inspiring to you today, that I wanted to get real with you and say that we can change our thoughts and ourselves and the trajectory of our day. And see, the birds are back. We can change it with our thoughts. We have a choice. We have a choice. I guess that's what I want to say. We have a choice. We have a choice every morning before we put our feet on the floor. We can be thankful for the bed. We can be thankful for, even if we didn't get a lot of sleep and it wasn't good quality sleep, we can be thankful that we got that. Okay? I've been reading so much awful things on the fibromyalgia support pages out there on Facebook and on YouTube. I've been reading awful, awful things. People seem to be being hit really, really hard with fibro right now. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's because we're coming up on a full moon, or because, you know, here in the Northeast in the United States, it's midwinter. February can be a really tough month because it's cold. The atmospheric pressure, we have a storm coming. I was thinking maybe in the last couple of days, maybe that's why I was really struggling, because we feel the atmospheric pressure, the barometric pressure. We feel that when a storm is coming. We feel that, don't we? More than most. We feel the pull of the tides and the moon more than most, don't we? So And here it is. Here's the storm coming. And yet I decided this morning that I'm blessed with friends and family who check in on me. And, I have one friend in particular, and she's phenomenal. And she texts me and calls me all the time. How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's going on today? And she's there to talk me through and talk me off the ledge. I'm just really, really blessed to have a friend like that. But many of you don't, and that's okay too. So you have to be your own best friend, and you have to support yourself and nurture yourself and honor yourself and strengthen yourself. And like it or not, we have to be our own doctors. We have to be our own therapists. We have to be our own counselors. We have to do our own work. I probably will post in a little while. I'll post another video on the topic of this sense of self-worth and where it all comes from, and how fibromyalgia is so linked to a trigger, a stressful, traumatic situation. How for the millions of us that have been diagnosed, we can probably pinpoint when we were diagnosed, like when we started to fall ill, that caused us to go to the doctor to get the diagnosis, right? And it's usually a trauma, a stressful situation, an illness, a hospitalization, an infection. For me, it was a virus. I got the H1N1 virus along with my husband. It's called swine flu. But that in and itself does not cause fibromyalgia, because we know that there's no one thing that you can't catch it. It's not contagious, right? There's no one thing that leads to a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. So for me, I understand why I got it. No, I don't. I understand how I came to get it, but I didn't understand why, and that's why I wrote the book. So I'll talk about that maybe in a little bit. I'll start another video about self-worth, but I just wanted to just give you some inspiration today. There's a little bird on the eating the suet. That is a titmouse. That is a titmouse. That's the bird called the titmouse. They're beautiful. They have this cute little squeak. The little red breast is really very sweet. Oh, there's another one. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, there it goes. So there's two of them there on the feeder. They're very sweet. Okay, so once again, our thoughts become our reality. Okay, we can manifest our reality by our thoughts. So the message today in this particular video is all about just changing your thoughts. I spoke about this in another video before because of what my sister told me when I was first diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and the summary of that video was change your mind to change your mind. Right? So everything starts in the mind, right? Like we have to make a decision to decide. We have to change our mind to change our mind. We have to decide that we're going to have a positive attitude no matter what. Okay? I am wishing you love. I am wishing you comfort. I am sending gentle hugs. I hope you are warm and safe and dry wherever you are. I'm wishing you peace today. I want you to understand that peace and joy in everyday little things like birds on a feeder, some days it's got to be enough. It is for me. It hasn't been, but it is for me today. Today is all we have. I hope you make it a great day. I will see you in a little while, okay? Thanks for listening. I love you guys. Bye.